When I was about 4 years old, my dad had just bought his first nice Sony camcorder, the Handycam, I think it was called, and I was just obsessed. I would go around like running, just filming random things that popped into my head, and it progressed more when my dad started buying those Kodak pocket camcorders, the ones that you held, and I would just set up an area in our office and film these like 30-second clips of me dancing or something. But then we got our first iMac in like 2010, and I started doing those default iMovie trailers template things, and I would record myself on the webcam, and it was so much fun at the time, even though they were like absolutely horrible that I look at them now. Like, they were from the late 90s. My dad had these late 90s camcorders, and I loved how it had tape instead of an SD card. Like I said, when I had those old camcorders, I would record things like Christmas, and I would actually try and set it up to catch Santa on film, which was funny because I was so confused why the footage just stopped suddenly halfway through. Now I know. But I was really like, did I run out of memory or something? But, I found out. I used up all the money I had saved on my birthdays to buy the Phantom 3 Standard back in 2012, I think. I was obsessed. I had a whole YouTube channel. Although there wasn't a lot of popularity on it, I still had fun making these videos, flying my drone in cool places. It gave me kind of an excuse to go outside and do something rather than just like sitting there and, just doing nothing all day. Probably not, because I really like it and it's just more of a hobby than something I would pursue in life, because, it's something that like I'm not too interested in pursuing. I would like to make money on the side, really. It can be a beneficial thing when you have a friend who needs something made or something edited really quickly that you can help them with in the future, or maybe like make home videos like my parents did of when I was a kid, of my kids in the future.